So for 3 videos now, I've walked you through the process of what the right steps are, in my opinion, of how to get an office that's designed to work. And now we're going to put those 3 things together, and I'm going to walk you through the steps and how that all lines up so that you can apply it to your office and see if there's any adjustments that you can make to your office, because adjustments to an office don't have to be expensive. They can be little, they can be small. You can put a plant somewhere, it'll be fun. So first of all, you have to name the problem. And let's just say you need that. Let's just say you have a boring office. You have colors on the wall, the layout is okay, but it is literally missing life. And you're trying to figure out how you can add that life to a space. So you've identified the problem. It's needing life. It just needs a little something. Everything's working pretty good. It just looks flat, and you don't know what about it looks flat. And is it costing you anything significant? No, but you know that your office could be better. It could function. It could have an element to it that brings life into the space, is subtle. It doesn't have to smack you upside the head. And so we've identified the problem. Your office just needs a little life. We know how much it costs. Not a ton, but you just know that the office needs a little something. And then what does fixed look like? Well, it should have life to it. Life to it could be, it's an actual living thing. It's an image of an actual living thing. It has movement to it. I'll get an answer to that in just a second. Just those elements, it's bright, it's fresh. Those are the things that would make fixed a right solution. And since we know it's not costing you a ton, this isn't going to be a high budget spend. I mean, you can make it if you want it to be, but probably for this instance, it's not going to be a high budget spend. We're going to keep things, let's say, under $1,000. Let's just say you've got a decent sized office and we're spreading this all across. So that's why I'm coming up with $1,000. If it's your own personal office, well then maybe $50, $100, not a ton. We're thinking small here so we can process this concept. That's the steps. What's the problem? How much is it costing you? What does fix look like? And then so we talked about some finishes that could be, or some criteria, some of the elements of a good solution that would work for your office. These are some of the things we came up with. So we came up with that it's bright, that it has movement, that it's low cost, and that it could even be alive. So what are some things that meet those criteria? 1, a plant. You can put a plant in there. It would do a couple of things for you. It would make your indoor air quality better. It would be a bright color. It is alive. And studies have shown that plants, like in a classroom, students study 20 to 30% better when there is a plant in the room, either an actual real plant or an image of a plant. So what's good for a classroom is good for your office. So you could get some benefits from having plants in your office, and they're multi-layered. Like I said, indoor air quality, concentration, which leads to increased productivity, and it's alive. It's bringing life to the space, which we identified as a major problem, or it's a key problem that you want, and it's a low price point. Like I said, if you can rent plants, you can buy plants, you can buy faux plants, you can buy real plants, but if you're covering a large space, that could cost a bit of money. But if it's just your office, like I said, not a ton of money. The other thing you could do is get kinetic art. So back in the day, I used to teach art to some elementary school kids, and I really loved the notion of kinetic art, and I don't think it gets explored enough. So kinetic obviously means motion, movement, and kinetic art tends to be primarily Calder. He did mobiles. I'll try to put some images up here. And the mobiles, like a baby mobile, we don't really do that with littles anymore, but remember back in the day, mobiles moved so that babies had something to look at. Even now with fans, ceiling fans, babies love looking at ceiling fans because it's moving. Kinetic art also has a biophilic element to it. Mobile art, mobiles like Calders, tended to be organic shapes. They weren't geometric shapes, like squares, circles. And so the organic shapes and that movement kind of mimics leaves fluttering, as an example, which again is by an element of biophilic design, which helps bring the outdoors into your office space. So if you brought in a kinetic piece of art like a mobile or something else that moved, maybe it was like a video screen that had really subtle leaves moving, that's going to go bougie, but it's still an option. So you could go that way. But a piece of mobile art could be really interesting because it has different colors. You can have different colors. You can have the same color. It could be branded colors. It could be complementary to your branded colors. So many different options. Calder's pieces of art tended to be primary colors, so red, blue, yellow, but it doesn't have to be that way. It could be any number of things that this could be implemented. But not many people, when they have art in their office space, have mobile art in their office space, kinetic art. What a unique thing to have in your space. It can hang from the wall, maybe it's mounted on the floor, and maybe when people walk by it, it moves, it's interactive in some degree. That would be an incredible way to bring life into a space. And again, if you're a piece of art is going to be on the higher end of the cost spectrum, but just how engaging, how unique, what a fantastic way to set your office apart from everyone else's, kind of regardless of what you do. I mean, it could be really neat. I'm not saying you have to commission a piece of art, but there's lots of different ways that you could find some of these ideas. So we have a plant and we have a mobile piece of art. We knew that there was a budget, but like I said, there's trade-offs. What are you willing to trade off? What are you willing to, do you want to do plants where they are alive, it's static, you know that there's the concentration benefit, like I cited with concentration with kids in classes, that's going to apply to people at work too. And that's my design philosophy in practice. The first 3 steps, the most important steps, the identifying the problem, the what it's costing you, and then what fixed looks like. So with either one of those 2 options, you will have brought life and movement and fun into your office space, and you get to decide then as the client which option is best for you. And that's how a good office, a well-designed office, is designed to work. Every industry has their alphabet soup of letters, acronyms, credentials. And in the next video, I'm going to walk you through what those are so that you know if those are credentials that would bring additional value to your project, then now you know what they mean, and it's nothing more than that. See you soon.